Welcome to our practical session on spoken English. A practical session on spoken English, where we learn the correct way to say some things in English language and the wrong way to avoid saying it. Spoken English. Now let's take this series. Number 1. Wrong to say. Jammeh avenged himself for the attack. Wrong to say. Jammeh avenged himself for the attack. The correct way to say that is Jammeh revenged himself for the attack. Jammeh revenged himself for the attack. Now, look at the next one before we explain. Number 2. Wrong to say. My auntie will revenge her son's mother. My auntie will revenge her son's mother. Say, my auntie will avenge her son's mother. My auntie will avenge her son's mother. Remember, we are looking at avenge and revenge, whether you put them in the present tense or in the past tense. Doesn't matter. The moment you get the explanation, you'll be able to do that whether in the present or past tense. So, we are looking at avenge and revenge. So you ask, what do you mean by avenge and revenge? Now, to revenge is to punish for a wrong done to oneself. When you say to avenge, I want to avenge. To revenge means, remember, I say to revenge means revenge. That is to punish for a wrong done to oneself. When you punish somebody for a wrong done to yourself, you as a person, that is when you say revenge. Revenge has to do with you, the person himself, trying to punish for a wrong done to him or her personally. That is when you say to revenge. So, but to avenge is to punish on behalf of another person. Usually the innocent or the weak. When you punish on behalf of another person, that means you want to pay back, you want to pay on behalf of another person. You want to punish on behalf of another person, usually the innocent or weak. Then you say avenge. Note, the noun revenge is commonly used in the expression to take revenge on. To take revenge on. And to get or have one's revenge. As he took revenge on the boy who has struck him. He took revenge on the boy who has struck him. He could not rest until he had his revenge. You see that? So that's how you use revenge. So let's say it again. Say, the noun revenge is commonly used in the expression to take revenge on and to get or have one's revenge, as he took revenge on the boy who has struck him, or he could not rest until he had his revenge. Okay? So that's that for avenge and revenge. Let's go to the next one, the next conversation. Number 3. The manager is now persuaded of Junkun's honesty. The manager is now persuaded of Junkun's honesty. Don't say that. Instead, you should say, the manager is now convinced of Junkun's honesty. Here we are looking at persuade or persuaded, convinced or convinced, past tense or present tense. So we say it is wrong to say the manager is now persuaded of Junkun's honesty. Say the manager is now convinced of Junkun's honesty. Number 4, wrong to say the coach could not convince Jude to play. No, don't say that. The coach could not convince Jude to play. Instead, you should say the coach could not persuade Jude to play. The coach could not persuade Jude to play. Here we are looking at persuade or persuaded or convinced. Now you ask what is the difference? The difference is this. When you say to convince is to make a person believe. To convince is to make a person believe, while to persuade means to get a person to do something. Persuade means to get a person to do something. Convince is to make a person to believe. Let me say it again. To convince is to make a person to believe, while to persuade is to get a person to do something. To get a person to do something. But care must be taken not to confuse persuade with pursued. Don't confuse persuade with pursue. Pursue or pursued. To pursue or pursued in the past tense means to follow. Like I want to pursue a cause. I want to pursue a program. I want to pursue an ambition. To follow. So don't confuse persuade and pursue or pursued. They are different. To pursue or pursued means to follow. Let's read our conversation again. Let's do that. Say, wrong to say, don't say, wrong to say, Jame avenged himself for the attack. Instead, the correct way to say that is, Jame revenged himself for the attack. Jame revenged himself for the attack. Wrong to say, my auntie will revenge her son's mother. Instead, you should say, my auntie will avenge her son's mother. Mother, that is kill. Death. Wrong to say, this mother means death. Wrong to say, the manager is now persuaded of Junkun's honesty. The correct way to say that is, the manager is now convinced of Junkun's honesty. Wrong to say, the coach could not convince Jude to play. The coach could not convince Jude to play. No. Instead, the correct way to say that is, the coach could not persuade Jude to play. The coach could not persuade Jude to play. We say don't confuse persuade and pursued. To pursue means to follow. Like I want to pursue a course in English language. I want to pursue a course in engineering. Pursue, to follow. Don't pursue the man. If you like our video, please share, subscribe, and give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to support our community-based adult literacy program. Share, give us a thumbs up, and follow.